When interesting texture is what you crave, and a simple repeat is what you really need, look no further than the waffle stitch. The setup row is as simple as making a solid row of double crochets. So either chain a multiple of 3 plus 2, or make any number of foundation double crochet stitches that 3 will divide evenly into. The waffle stitch isn't reversible, but it's still a great choice for a variety of projects, specifically projects where both sides don't show. It's really interesting for blankets, pillows, hot pads, baskets, you name it. Row 2 kicks off the 2-row repeat. Simply chain 2 and turn, and front post double crochet in the next stitch here. So just slide your hook behind the post and finish the stitch as normal. Find the next double crochet and make a double crochet there, catching both loops of the V. And do that one more time. And repeat. When you have 2 stitches remaining in this row, one will be a regular double crochet and the last a turning chain. So front post double crochet and then double crochet in the top turning chain. Then chain 2 and turn. The great texture of this stitch makes for a pretty thick fabric, so generally speaking, it pairs easily with just about any light or medium weight yarn, and the thickness really isn't an issue. But that's not to say you can't use a bulky or a super bulky weight yarn. Just know that the extra thickness of the yarn plus the stitch thickness will make these projects a little more situational. A thick waffle stitch rug sounds very functional, but it wouldn't be nearly as practical for a sweater. The stitch also works really well with textured yarn like this Angora and alpaca blend yarns, for example, and even colored yarns will work. Short color variations like this one aren't my favorite for this stitch, but it works pretty well with longer color changes to create thicker stripes. Alright, now for the 3rd row. Start off this time with a double crochet here, then front post double crochet for the next 2 stitches. These 2, by the way, are the 2 stitches that are sunk in on the right side of the work. That being said, your odd numbered rows are the wrong side or the back side of the work. And just keep going with that repeat. At the end of this row, you'll have 2 stitches left, a double crochet and a turning chain. So make a double crochet in the double crochet, and then make a double crochet in the top turning chain. Then chain 2 and turn. The difference in the look of each side is evident right away, but what isn't so obvious this early on is whether or not it'll look kind of wonky around the edges. To be honest, some swatches I made had to be blocked and others not. So if you notice the edges are kind of pulling in or curling slightly, the fix is simple enough. Just dunk it in water and pin it out. After it completely air dries, the edges will be much neater. Something to note here too is that the 2 acrylic samples I worked up really didn't need blocking, but the samples where I used an animal fiber blended yarns, those samples did. Could have been hook size or a coincidence, but just know that a little blocking might be necessary. For the length of your project, simply repeat rows 2 and 3 until it's as long as you need. Now you'll want to end after finishing a 2nd row so that the top little waffle section looks finished and matches the rest. The simplicity, thickness, and durability of the waffle stitch makes it an excellent choice for projects for the home. You can easily improvise a blanket with this stitch. Just remember to chain in groups of 3 until it's the width you want, and then add 2 more chains. But if you can't stand the thought of double crocheting into more than 100 chains, like you would for a blanket, check out this video here to learn how to make the foundation double crochet. It's so much easier than starting with the foundation chain. Happy hooking, and I'll see you over there.